What is up everyone, Luke here, and today we're going to be covering the Webster. We're going to be doing it from standing and we're going to be doing it from a run. So we're going to start off with standing because standing's a little bit easier. So I would recommend finding something slightly higher than this object here, but because I've done them before, obviously I'm comfortable with it here. Also try and find something which doesn't move, unlike this. It's a bit dodgy here. But with a Webster, what you want to do, you want to start on the balls of your feet, and usually you'll kick the leg which you kick in football. So if you kick your right leg in football, you kick your right leg, but I do it backwards. I actually kick my left leg. So it doesn't have to be exactly like that, just whichever way you feel comfortable with. Now, I'm going to show you kicking my left leg, and if you kick your right leg, all you need to do is just reverse it, okay? So I start off with both feet, standing up, and then I lift my left leg up and kick it back as I throw my right arm forward. So opposite leg, opposite arm. So right arm forward, left arm back. Then I'll throw my left hand back with my leg. So if I come down from here real quick, I'll show you on the floor. So 2 feet, dip my chest down, bring my right arm forward and my left leg and left arm back, okay? It's really, really important that you dip your chest down, okay? If you just go for it like this and just go straight down like that, you're gonna go straight down. If you dip your chest and then as you jump, spring up through your right leg, you'll get a lot more height, so you can easily complete the rotation and land on the balls of your feet. So when you're in the air, the Webster is literally just like the front flip, but what I'd suggest doing is getting used to tucking underneath your thighs. Because your left hand's already back, it's natural to grab underneath your leg. There's no point bringing it back and then over to grab the front of your shins, but it's up to you guys. That's just my opinion. Now in terms of the actual rotation, because you're kicking one leg back, you don't want to just kick it back, you want to kick it back, up and round, because that's going to drive you into the rotation. The quicker and harder you kick your leg, the faster you're going to spin. Now because you're driving off of one leg, you can get a lot quicker spin than if you were to just go off 2 feet, because when you're going off 2 feet you're relying on your hips. This, like I said, kick as hard as you can, and that's how fast you're going into the rotation. The other way to do the Webster is just by starting on 2 feet, and instead of alternating your arms like that, because that may be a little bit confusing for some people, just simply start by choosing your kicking leg. So again for me, left leg, kick back and throw both arms forward. Now obviously on this one, because your arms are forward, you're going to grab in front of your shins. There's no point going backwards to grab underneath. All you need to do is bring them down and grab your shins, okay? Apart from that, the rotation is exactly like the front flip. So if you've seen my front flip tutorial, you should be getting comfortable with that by now, and then you can go straight into this. If you haven't seen it, post a link in the description for you guys. So guys, just to summarize, starting on 2 feet, you want to lift one leg up. So for me, it's my left leg, and you're going to drive your left arm and your left leg back while throwing your right arm forward. Remember to dip your chest. On the takeoff, you spring up through your right leg and grab underneath your thighs, open up in the landing and land on the balls of your feet. The alternative way is choose which leg you're going to kick with, kick that leg back as you throw both arms forward, come around, grab the front of your shins, open up from the ball, land on the balls of your feet. All you're going to have to do is just experiment, find some soft padding, like over here, it's quite soft. Otherwise sand, wood chip and things like that, or even just like bed mattresses, take them outside and just experiment with them like that. I'll go and show you a few now, so you can see them in slow motion and things like that. Alright guys, so that's the standing Webster covered. Again, don't choose something as low as that, choose something a little bit higher and less sketchy as that, because that was disgusting. But now we're going to go through the running Webster. So if you've seen my side flip tutorial, you would have seen where I talk about doing a step up, and I use this object here to do it. It's exactly the same, but obviously we're not going sideways, we're going forwards now. So what I would do is do almost like a horse gallop. So you want to find out which leg you take off of. So for me it's my right leg, because I kick my left leg. So I'm going to run in, I'm going to have my right foot forward, I'm going to take 2 steps really close to each other. So it's going to be left, right, like that, okay? Now you can see I got a lot of power. If I'm just running forward and just going into it, I'm not going to get as much power. With them 2 really quick steps, I get a lot of power where I can push it forward or upwards depending on what I'm trying to do. So the best way to start is, you may look like an absolute tool doing this, but just do some horse gallops so you can find out what leg you take off on, whichever way feels natural for you, okay? Remember, focus on having whichever leg you kick behind you and your takeoff leg in front of you. There's no point trying it one way when you're comfortable doing the other way, okay? So again, let me just show you. Right foot forward, my left foot's gonna go there, my right foot's gonna go on the ball, 2 quick steps. So the takeoff is the hardest part. So once you've got used to the takeoff, everything else is just like a normal front flip. And if you've done the standing Webster already, you'll be familiar with the concept of kicking your back leg to get you the rotation. So as you're running in, so remember you take 3 steps, your right, your left, and then your right on the ball, or if you lefties, you go left, right, left. So for me, I'm gonna have my right leg firmly planted. As I take my left step, I'm gonna have my arms behind me, and then as I take my right step, I'll drive them up like this. So it's unlike a front flip where you come in like a block with your arms already up and throw up and round. This, you sort of come in with your arms behind you and then reach up and round. That allows you to get height and distance, because obviously on this, if you go too high, you're just going to land back on the ball. So really make sure you drive up with those arms, but don't shoot them forward. If you shoot them forward, that's the direction you're going. So you need to shoot them up, as well as keeping your chest nice and open, and again, blocking with the ball. If you're like this and your knee is coming over your foot and your chest is over, that's the direction you're going. You're just going to go forward and drop. If you're back here and you've got a nice firm plant ready to go up, then you're going to get so much higher than if your knee was over your foot. Okay, so really consider that. Now, when you're in the air, again, just like the Webster, everything else is exactly the same. So your arms are up. You can grab in front or underneath your legs on this one. Because your arms are already in front of you, it's entirely up to you which one you want to do. And generally, you step out of this. So you don't land 2 feet, you generally land 1 foot followed by the other. So for me, I take off on my right leg, which means because I'm kicking my left foot back, my left foot will land first and then my right foot will land. So I've taken off, I'm in the air, my left foot's going to land, then my right leg will land, okay? That's generally how it works. But you can get used to swapping, because obviously I cartwheel to the left. So you can get used to swapping the way you step out. But I'll go through and show you a few now. Everything is exactly the same. So take a look in slow-mo. Right guys, so to summarise, with the running Webster, remember, make sure you've got your takeoff first. Once you plant your last leg, okay, your arm should already be behind you, and you drive up, make sure you actually push off this leg. Don't just kick your back leg and expect you to rotate. You need to actually push off this one as well. So once you get here, make sure you actually jump off it. Your arms will be up in the air, you'll come around and you'll grab either your shin or under your leg, whichever feels comfortable for you. You should already be familiar with the Webster and the front flip sort of rotation before you even try this. Again, remember to block, so make sure your knee is not over your foot, because 1, you'll slip, or 2, you'll go forward. So make sure it's slightly back so you can really drive up, and make sure your chest is slightly back as well. Kick your back leg nice and hard, open out for the landing. Either 2 feet, or I'd say more comfortable is 1 foot followed by the other. If you kick your left leg, you're going to land on your left leg first. If you kick your right leg, you're going to land on your right leg first. Once you've got comfortable with doing it one way, experiment and try it the other way. Okay, now it's obviously not going to be as good as your normal way, but it's better to do it that way, because then sometimes you might find something where you cannot step up on your right leg because there might be something in the way. So you need to be diverse in being able to do it on both legs. The last one I'm going to quickly break down is the axe to Webster. So if you want to come over here in a second and I'll show you. My sexy big toes out. Okay, so the axe to Webster, this is from standing, but we're just going to drive our back leg in one spot and rotate from here. So I'll demonstrate one now. So real quick breakdown of this now. Start off on your takeoff leg, okay, and you're going to drive your kicking leg forward, then backwards. Now for me, I prefer Russian front flips. Okay, so I have my arms in front of me as my legs forward, and my arms and legs go back in sync. Drive them up like the Russian front flip. Again, if you don't know what that is, see my front flip tutorial, link in the description. Okay, drive them up together, remembering to dip my chest down so I can pop it back up. If I just take off from here and dip my chest, it's going to go down. Pushing off of your right foot, tucking into the ball, open out for the balls of the feet landing. Pretty simple. Right guys, so I apologise for the length of this video, but there are 3 different techniques in here, so just bear with me. I'm trying to get the tutorial shorter. If you do like my tutorials, be sure to like, favourite, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, helps me out. The more people I see viewing the tutorial and commenting on it and saying that they need help, the more it motivates me to continue making the tutorials, okay? So keep doing that. If you want to see more, also comment an idea for the next tutorial. I do have one already, but depending on what you guys comment will depend if it actually changes or not. This was the Webster tutorial from standing, axe to Webster, and the step up. Be sure to subscribe to Spiral Freerun's YouTube, to my YouTube, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I will see you next week for Tutorial Tuesday.